The death count is now 4 from Monday morning's arson murder. Tonight, we'll show you the school memorial service for the last victim, 17-year-old sixth former Shadia Magania. And a working man killed in the city. Was he an innocent victim of a gang war he had nothing to do with? Also, we'll talk to the Good Samaritan who picked up little Kwesi Stain after the 5-year-old student was left to wander near Pong Yard, 2 miles from his school. Plus, she was on the Ladyville bus when it flipped in March, and 7 months later, an accident victim says she's still struggling with the after effects. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight, Wednesday, October 22nd, 2025. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indira Craig.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
Every day, the demand on your business get higher. More productivity, better equipment, and reliable support to keep up with a fast-moving world. At Cellular World Business Solutions, we're ready to help you boost performance across every operation. Don't let outdated technology hold you back. With our certified and supported solutions, your business stays ahead. We supply office equipment, printers, inks, and toners, software licenses, IT system assembly as your Dell Platinum and Cisco partner, appliances, and custom orders tailored to your needs. From startups to large enterprises and renowned institutions, we serve every corner of the country because no industry can afford to fall behind on technology. Let's take your business to the next level. Contact us today at 610-2494. Cellular World Business Solutions, your reliable partner in business success.
Your government is taking back ownership of our hydro dams and power generation plants, and all shares held in BEL by the foreign-owned Fortis. Belizean assets in the hands of Belizeans. Fully Belizean-owned and managed, with all local employees. Our nation's premier source of clean power generation is now in our hands. Revenues made in Belize will now stay in Belize. Remember, energy security equals economic independence. Your government continues to put Belizeans first.
Hey Belize! Our country is known worldwide for its natural beauty, from our barrier reef to our rainforest. But there's a growing threat to our paradise. Global plastic production has skyrocketed to 400 million tons per year, and without action, plastic waste flowing into our waters will nearly triple by 2040, from around 11 million tons in 2016 to around 29 million tons in 2040. Here at home, the situation is just as concerning. In 2024 alone, Belize imported over 13.3 million plastics and over 12 million plastic lids and caps. What might seem like just one plastic bottle or one chips bag adds up quickly. During our National Cleanup Day, almost 26,000 plastic bottles were collected, and that's just one day of effort. But here's the good news. We can all be part of the solution. Use waste bins, keep a litter bag in your car. Wait until you find a proper disposal site. These simple actions make a real difference. Join us in keeping Belize clean. Our Belize, our responsibility. BINIC.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
The roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for the journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, ensuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, ensuring you from life's unexpected.
Hey, 06 para mañana.
89, 23.
16. Ya gané con el 10, con el 50 y con el 03.
Bolido ahora es más fácil. Ahora puedes jugar tu número de la suerte con Digi Wallet. Regístrate y deposita para comenzar. Descarga la aplicación de Bolido y elige Digi Wallet como tu método de pago y cobro.
¡Ya gané!
Cuando enviamos dinero.
Con Bolido gana.
Cuando hacemos recargas. Inait.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Tonight, the imprint of grief and incomprehension rests heavily over the Orange Walk district after the early morning death of 17-year-old Shadia Magania, the third burn victim to die from Monday morning's arson murder in San Felipe village. As we told you on Monday, Angelita Magana and her son were murdered when her ex-common-law husband Francis Godoy poured gasoline on her and 6-year-old Tishan Godoy and then lit them on fire. He also set her daughter Shadia Magana on fire as just before the flames got a hold of him. While Magana and little Tishan died instantly, Shadia held on until this morning when she, along with the culprit Godoy, passed away. This prompted her school, Muffles Junior College, to host a memorial in her honor. Courtney Menzies has this sad story.
The death count is now 4 for the worst arson murder in memory. Shadia Magana and Francisco Godoy both died early this morning at the KHMH. They had burns to over 90% of their body. It's the loss of an innocent 17-year-old sixth form student, and simultaneously the loss of the perpetrator of one of the most heinous acts of domestic violence ever witnessed. Today at Muffles Junior College, where a memorial for Shadia was being held, the dean explained that it's the first time they've had to bury a student. He added that though Shadia was a new student, she already stood out.
It's unprecedented. It comes as a shocker, especially considering the manner in which she passed away. Exactly 1 week ago, in this very spot where we're having the memorial, we had a general assembly. We had guest speakers to speak to us on nutrition. And the mistress of ceremony for that occasion was Shadia. Shadia was in her limelight here. Who could have thought that exactly 1 week later, at this very hour, we would be holding a memorial? Shadia was vibrant. She was majoring in, she was pursuing her associate's degree in management with a concentration in information and communications technology. Academically, she was doing really well. We just distributed mid-semester reports, and Shadia was in the list of students passing. Shadia immersed herself immediately. She's a first-year student. She just started Muffles in August, and she was already very involved in her house. Like I said, she was the mistress of ceremony for the activity that her house, Gongora House, organized last week, Wednesday. She was in the volleyball team. She was already a visible individual in the school community.
And while it's a terrible loss for both Muffles Junior College and St. Michael's RC School, where Angelita Magana was a warden and Trishan Godoy was an Infant 2 student, it's also a crime with no surviving culprits. That is, unless one can blame the system that could not protect Magana from an ex who relentlessly hunted her. According to the police, there was a small window where Godoy had a bit of freedom, and he immediately went looking for her.
He had a problem. He had a court case for rape with her that hasn't been completed. And he had another one that just came out last week where he had a restriction. That's what happened. She was afraid because he had already entered about 2 days earlier. He had already entered her home from the roof. He covered her mouth and asked her if she would get back together with him. But she said she couldn't because she saw it was impossible to have a life with him. So he asked her if she had anything with someone, if she was going to live with someone else, and she said yes. He said he will kill both of her kids.
In this scenario, I think what would have been the ideal situation at hand was for a revocation of his high court bail. I think the only reason why there may have been a gap that allowed him to be on the street, and as you would see, it's a very narrow window, is because at the time that he went to court on Thursday, he was remanded from April up until that recent time. So I don't believe that steps would have been made to have his high court bail revoked, given that he was already remanded because of another incident. So it just so happened, and unfortunately so, that the situation at hand created a window for him, and he took advantage of it.
A wake will be held tonight for the family. Courtney Menzies, 7 News.
Shadia had recently graduated from Belize High School of Agriculture. And one Orange Walk area rep, who is also the Minister of Health, Kevin Bernard, agreed that the system failed Magana. Today, he lamented the fact that she tried to seek help and was turned away. He said that more should have been done, not just to help her, but any woman who comes to the police department with a complaint of domestic violence.
From my end, I speak personally. I am very, very saddened by what happened. But sometimes you beg the question, you know, what went wrong? From what I understand, the lady that died tragically in this very, very distasteful incident had gone to the police, had made reports, tried to seek help, and just because she couldn't access the court, I question, not because the judge is not there must be some mechanism in place that you can address and support this individual. And so there's much more that needs to be done when it comes to that. And it's a whole of society approach that I think has to, because it's not just about when a wife or a woman goes to a police station and make a complaint. And because they feel, oh, the husband and wife wanna get back together today, tomorrow, or you don't take the matter serious. I think every complaint should be handled seriously, taken seriously, and has to be addressed. And I think we need to do much more. I am going to say that openly. We must do much more, but not just the government, not just the police, every one of us. If we know of people suffering in silence, let us help. Let us reach out to the authorities. Let us ensure that these people get the necessary help. As I said, it's a very sad situation that occurred. I understand the young 16-year-old passed away as well, including the perpetrator. I will leave my comment about the perpetrator because I don't want to be, I have my own personal opinion about that. But it's sad to see a young family losing their life over such situation, whether it is jealousy, whether it is whatever may have caused that individual. But it leads us to also understand the ills that is affecting society and individuals.
A cabinet release today pointed tritely to what it calls, quote, the urgent need for continued national action to address and prevent domestic violence in all its forms. The government of Belize calls on all Belizeans and all local entities, including the churches and civil society, to join in collective action to end gender-based and domestic violence across the nation. And there was another murder in the city last night, taking this week's count up to 4. It happened on Nurse Findlay Crescent just before 11. 37-year-old Ricardo Escobar was on Nurse Findlay Crescent, not far from his Guild Street residence, when he was approached by a gunman who fired several shots, all hitting him in the back. His family told us off camera that, to their knowledge, Escobar had no enemies, and they are not sure why he was even targeted. Escobar was a working man known to be employed at NextGen. Sources tell us that he may have been innocently targeted in a gang rivalry which just wanted to claim a victim off Nurse Findlay Crescent, and he may have been the first person the gunman saw. After the break, we'll introduce you to the Good Samaritan who saved a 5-year-old student that was left to wander the streets a long way from his school. Don't go away.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
It's an massive season with massive deals and rewards at Penny's. From now through December 31st, earn double B-Bucks on store-wide purchasing every Saturday. That's right, 2 times the B-Bucks, which means 2 times the cash back when shopping at Penny's. Plus, get even more rewards with B-Bucks Builders on home goods, tiles, appliances, paints, and lights. And don't forget, there's also massive deals and discounts on tiles and the best brands in paints like Benjamin Moore and BH. Rewards, deals, B-Bucks. You can get it all this massive season only at Penny's. Quality and savings.
The Social Security Board's new whistleblower reporting system makes it easy and confidential to speak up by reporting misuse of the Social Security services and benefits, including fraud, misconduct, false claims, and more. If you know of any unethical or illegal activity relating to SSB benefits, claims, or personnel, go to ssbspeakup.integrityline.com or use our toll-free hotline 0800-SPEAK-UP, 0800-773-2587. This confidential reporting system is a way for you to report concerns or incidents privately without fear of reprisal. Your submission is confidential and anonymous. The Social Security Board is committed to providing a secure, confidential medium for whistleblowing that promotes organizational accountability and enhances public confidence in our services.
Your government is taking back ownership of our hydro dams and power generation plants, and all shares held in BEL by the foreign-owned Fortis. Belizean assets in the hands of Belizeans. Under Fortis, every single year, the cost of power sold to BEL automatically increased by 1.5%. No more. Government will abolish that increase, saving Belizean power consumers $50 million. Remember, energy security equals economic independence. Your government continues to put Belizeans first.
So I want to do farming, fruits, vegetables, anything You don't have to go out there and buy, you know, you have your own thing.
This never happened when I come here in too, baby. That's what it look.
200 lots, more lots than people with land of Ocasio. So when I pick them when I ban yet to get land.
You could look at all of them, how happy they are. They're so, man, these people don't know how to express themselves right now.
People who have never had a land before, will live here for years, finally get something to say, okay, I have something in my name, you know.
So when you get your piece of land, you have to hold on to your land. You have something to pass on to your picnic.
Use your land, make it useful.
Don't sell your land because it is gold. You're investing in your own selves and your children down the road.
I know how to say thank again because it's a great achievement.
The impact on the broader economy will be even more beneficial. First and foremost, the hydro plants, powered by Belizean waters, is returning to Belizean ownership so that Belizean shareholders will benefit from its electrical power and the profits it generates. From the standpoint of energy security, the standpoint of national security, the standpoint of having local control over the electrical power necessary for our livelihoods and our economy, these acquisitions, and in particular, the hydropower plant acquisition, is a monumental gain for Belize and Belizeans.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Last night you heard from Isani Stain, the father of the 5-year-old student who was left to wander in the Pong Yard area on Friday after he didn't get out at the Buttonwood Bay Nazarene Primary School. Stain wants answers from the Ministry of Education, which provides the bus service, and he wanted to find the Good Samaritan who picked up little Kwesi and dropped him at the school on bicycle. Well, after our story aired last night, he connected with that Good Samaritan, which led us to him today. Here's his account of what happened.
Up to this day, I still do not know who is that person, and I would like for you, sir, or mom, to please come forward so that I could understand why this situation happened and why he was left at the Pong Yard.
And last night, he found out that the Good Samaritan who saved his son is this man, Wilbert Zelaya. He's hired by parents to walk children to school every day when a school bus ends its run at Pong Yard. But on Friday, he saw a new face, this one, 5-year-old Kwesi Stain. And the boy seemed lost.
So I asked the boy, where are you going? He said, we're going to school, but he didn't point to the gas station side. So I said, but your parents there? He say, no parents. I said, where brother there? Where sister there? He say, I don't have none. I said, but where you going? He said, going to big school. So I said, all right, hold on. Make a check in your bag. Make a check in your bag. So we stop and I check in the bag and I see one of these scribbling say, the button would be. I said, all right, we're going there. We're going there because, I mean, the thought of him and that young boy from the Stella Maris came into mind. But I told him, yeah, you're not going nowhere. I want to carry on. I want to see what I do for you.
And he did. He put Kwesi on his bicycle handle and rode him 2 miles across town to Buttonwood Bay Nazarene on Kona Drive, which is where he took this picture as a kind of proof of life.
When I reached there, it was about 8:40 so. I meet the warden, and I tell her, this little boy say he belongs here. But I meet this little boy way up on the bridge by himself. And she was shocked. She was glad. And you know, I tell her, just make sure this little boy reach back home.
You took a picture of him?
Yes, when he reached school.
Okay, why?
Because I just want to make sure the little boy reach safe, deliver safe, and if anything show up, that I had delivered this little boy to the school safe.
He's so fortunate he came, that you encountered him and not somebody who may want a chance.
Yes, absolutely. And that got through my mind. That's why I tell her, you're not going to nowhere for the family. I want to take care of you and I want to carry you.
And while Zelaya was the right man at the right time, he agrees that leaving small children on the bus to determine their own stops is a problem.
Being on that bus, I've seen kids like that, kids with the preschool. So how would you allow kids for the preschool to be on that bus?
And now that he has received the gratitude of Kwesi's father, he says he's actually the one who's grateful.
Yeah. And then he called me and I tell him, I am so grateful to be there, my brother. Like what he said, it could be one different story.
Yeah, very.
I'm just grateful, man. I was there and I thank God above. There's something in my hand.
Isani Stain says he has another meeting scheduled with the school and he is trying to get some kind of answer from the Ministry of Education. She's known as one of Belize's most capable senior magistrates, but Bajas Showman is leaving the magistracy quite abruptly. According to our reports, this is after the Chief Justice Louise Blenman instituted a new system where the 3 senior magistrates stationed in the city were reassigned and transferred to the districts. Showman, who had a notable career in the public service, starting at legal aid, was one of those magistrates. She was transferred to the Southern District Courts. According to reports, she asked to not be transferred, citing pressing family obligations that required her to be in the city. But no concessions were afforded to her and she has now resigned. We note also that an extension has been given for the current vacancies advertised globally for magistrates and senior magistrates. A fisherman from Shunush village is facing serious charges after he was allegedly caught with 51 undersized counts, an offense that could cost him a staggering fine of up to $150,000 plus additional penalties for each illegal catch. 21-year-old Endir Abayas Contreras, a fisherman from Shunush in the Corozal district, appeared unrepresented in the magistrate's court on Tuesday morning. He was read a single charge of possession of undersized conch, to which he pleaded not guilty. According to the Fisheries Department, on Thursday, October 16, 2025, around 3:55 p.m., Contreras was found on a canoe in the vicinity of Three Corner Key Zone in possession of 51 unprocessed counts, each reportedly measuring less than the legal limit of 7.5 inches. Contreras has denied the allegation and says he intends to challenge the department to prove its case against him. If convicted, he faces a mandatory fine of up to $150,000, along with an additional $30 to $50 penalty per undersized conch. The magistrate granted Contreras bail of $6,000. Contreras is due back in court in December 2025 as the case continues. Today, the Ministry of Health and Wellness issued 60 scholarships in midwifery, practical nursing, and pharmacy programs, 15 of which were funded by the Ministry of Education. It's a push to close the gap in Belize's healthcare sector, where nurses and pharmacists are desperately needed. And while this scholarship program isn't new, it has grown significantly over the years. Minister of Health, Kevin Bernard, told us more.
For me, this is always about investing in our people and making sure that we are able to train and build on the profession that we are lacking in Belize. Nursing is a necessity. And as you are very well aware, that we have been losing some of our nurses to the bigger countries. So this is an ongoing process that we have to invest in, try to get as much of our Belizeans to study in this profession. And that's what we're trying to achieve, so that we could train more poor people so that they get into this public health system, so they can provide a better service and we have better coverage, because our ratio, nurse to patient ratio is not where we really want it to be. And we have to ensure that we can fill that gap. We have a plan that over the next couple of years, we're hoping we can get there. And so for us, it's important that we are able to have this done. And every year we're going to hoping that we can do much more for the Belizean people. Just as nursing, pharmacy is a profession. As soon as these people leave finish their courses or studies, they're taken at a different level. We fight with the private sector to try and get pharmacy in, because not only at the hospital settings, but remember we have private enterprises and so forth that use these, because every drugstore you have to have a pharmacy, and so it's always it's a profession that is also demanding. We have been trying our very best. Again, we did a very important change last year when we increased the salary scale for pharmacists, so that we could hold on to our pharmacists as well. And so we've seen that working now. But we still have a few shortages. But we're working on that. We're working closely with the University of Belize. Next year, there's plan, as I spoke to the chief pharmacist earlier, that we are planning to put in some other scholarships for pharmacists as well, to add to the pool of our professionals that and as I mentioned, yesterday, Cabinet approved a 10-year training package that will see not only nursing, but our medical officers, our medical doctors who are going to specialize. We're talking about other healthcare professionals, including pharmacists, that we want to ensure that we can train them to fill the gaps, but also to prepare for our new facilities that we are building.
The scholarships are valued at $1.1 million. And while there is an urgency to fill posts for pharmacists and nurses, the Ministry of Health and Wellness is also looking for directors. As we told you, there are reports that Director of Public Health and Wellness, Dr. Melissa Diaz-Musa, will be departing the Ministry of Health. When we asked the minister earlier this month, he said that he had not gotten any correspondence from her confirming that. And he reiterated that today when we asked whether Dr. Musa would be handing over to the Deputy Director of Public Health and Wellness, Dr. Laura Friesen. He added that if Dr. Musa does resign, that is the next step. However,
Dr. Laura Friesen is the acting Deputy Director of Public Health and Wellness. Now, I haven't gotten a letter from Dr. Musa to say she is actually leaving. She's here, you could ask her. But at the end of the day, as I said the last time, and I say it again, I am fully appreciative of the work Dr. Musa has done over the years and in the ministry. Since I taking over the Ministry of Health, she has came on board as our Director of Public Health and Wellness and have done a phenomenal job. Continues to do a phenomenal job. And wherever she goes, if she do go, that will be. However, we have to look at continuity. We have to look at if that do happen. Dr. Friesen is the current acting Deputy Director of Public Health and Wellness, and it's so right that that person continues the work until we can find a replacement of a Director of Public Health and Wellness. If Dr. Musa really decides to leave.
So she would not hold that position permanently. You would still seek to find a replacement.
remember, the public service has its own way on how it goes about doing its thing. She can only act in that position based on the number of years she has in the service. So the public service will have, the matter will still have to go to public service. The advertisement will still have to go out so that we could have other applicants who may want to apply for the said position and had meet the necessary criteria set out by the public service.
And while that post isn't vacant just yet, the post of CEO of KHMH soon will be. We've told you that CEO Chandra Cancino has confirmed that she will not return and her contract ended earlier this month. So when will the vacancy be advertised? Well, the minister said that the hospital's board is working on it.
I understand that the board has met already and they are working on the terms of reference that will be put out for advertising. I know I spoke to my CEO, who also sits on the board of KHMH. I don't engage with the board matters. As you know, that's not my priority, but my prerogative, sorry. But the board, I understand, already met. They are looking at the terms of reference that will be put out, hoping that we could get these advertisements out as quick as possible. So we could find a suitable person to replace Ms. Cancino, who has chosen to move on, and I want to wish her the very best in whatever endeavors she so choose to go into. I know she have other roles within the different organizations, but she has made a personal decision to move on, and I wish her the very best. But I can guarantee you that we will look at all possible candidates. We'll have to ensure that we have the right person that can lead the facility, that can help and work closely with our board as well, that as was being done, but to ensure that there is continuity and improvement and sustainability at KHMH. So I'm hoping that we can get this out as soon as possible. I cannot really give you a definitive answer and timeline because I know the board is still meeting to discuss those details.
As we understand it, Cancino is currently on a brief extension. The Greening Belize initiative, also known as the Million Tree Initiative, was gaining momentum today in San Ignacio. And that's where the Forestry Department held a meeting with partners to come up with a plan and a path to plant 1 million trees. The Deputy Chief Forest Officer told us more.
This was an idea brought out of Cabinet by the PM to plant 1 million trees over a period of 5 years. And so what we have done is we have collaborated with our partners, and we're having a meeting here with the NGO partners, academia, and the long-term concessionaires and other people involved in planting so that we can launch the project and start recording what we're doing with the planting. There are many restoration and reforestation activities going on in the country. We need to record them and start accumulating the data in our databases so we know what's going on. So what we have done here is bring everybody together so we can discuss the idea and get some pledges from people so we can start doing this activity. This will be something that the department will be leading for the next 5 years. And it will be the biggest project for us to reforest and repopulate a major part of the country. We're prioritizing areas that are degraded. And so it will be a number of different trees. We have a huge campaign program that will be launched to promote this nationally. We will be doing a pilot project in the Belize River Valley where we will be paying people to plant trees and maintain them. It is a small pilot project to see how it works. If that works out, then we will try and launch it around the country. And we're also developing an app, Greening Belize app, where if you plant a tree, you can go and take a picture, you register it with us, and then we record it as one more tree added to that million number. It's not something that is temporary. It is definitely long-term and is here to stay. And it'll stay in the Forest Department because we're the one leading it.
And we'll take a break now. When we come back, 7 months after a bus accident, one woman says she's still living with the after effects. And Jo Marie Lanza is in San Pedro Sula, Honduras. She tells us how Belize is making an impression at the Central American Tourism Trade Show. Don't go away.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
Ishan Tyrone Sutherland, Bachelor of Science in Biology Education.
The sleepless nights, the long days, the massive sacrifice. There is something in us that is not hypothetical. It has been tested and proven. This defiant, resilient spirit runs through the veins of our people. You come from a long line of fighters and heroes and heroines, and some of them are sitting right here in these bleachers. They had to do so much with so little to get you to where you are today. Success and titles and defeat are imposters. They don't last forever. Who you are deep down inside, now that's forever. Your family is forever. Your community is forever. Love is forever. So love deeply. Love people more than things. Love your family. Love your friends. Love your community. Love your country. Love yourself, because you matter. Please give yourself a round of applause.
I'm Randall Friesen and I manage Westwell Produce, better known as Granny's Foods. That's our main brand. So we offer high quality grains, beans, rice, and we also offer corn chips made from 100% locally grown corn. We saw a need for high quality locally produced products. A lot of the best products are being exported, and we said, we need to keep some of the best products here in Belize rather than export everything. Atlantic Bank has helped us achieve our goals by providing the financing for us to be able to launch products faster than we would without the financing that they offer. We find that Atlantic Bank is very customer friendly, especially with small and medium-sized businesses. We find that Atlantic Bank is more than willing to go the extra mile. They try to understand your business. So when we go to Atlantic Bank with a certain need, we find that they try to develop a solution that will meet our specific need. I would encourage any small business owner to go to Atlantic Bank for their financial services. They're very friendly, and just overall, their service is excellent.
Welcome to the V Department Store. We are conveniently located on Coney Drive in Belize City. That's right on Coney Drive in Belize City. At the V Department Store, we offer a wide variety of groceries, cosmetics, kitchen appliances, kitchenware, electronics, and more. We've also recently expanded to the second floor to better meet your household and office furniture needs. We now have a wide variety of furniture, home decor, and accessories. We have a shared vision for a comfortable and customer-friendly shopping experience. Visit us today and be warmly greeted by our reasonable prices and cordial staff. The V Department Store. Experience the ultimate shopping destination.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Tonight we have another report from the Central America Travel Market event in San Pedro Sula, Honduras. Jo Marie Lanza is there and she looked at how Belize is trying to create its own niche amongst its Central American sister nations.
So we started off at the Belize booth to get more of an idea on what we are selling as a country to these destination management companies. Why should they recommend Belize to their clients?
Here we are telling everyone that we're meeting with that we have the best of all worlds to offer. A destination so close to many other large countries with easy access to the destination. We are here talking about how to get to Belize and when they get to Belize, what they can do when they're there. So we are at Catam, we are meeting with wholesalers and tour operators based in Europe, in South America, in Central America, in Mexico, US and Canada. And these are all tour operators and wholesalers who prepare packages for their clients. So they have consumers like yourself and myself who would reach out to them and say, I want a vacation in the Caribbean or I want a vacation in Central America. And as long as Belize is on their portfolio, they can offer Belize as an option to their clients. And so we are here to talk to them more about what we have to offer as a destination and how we can work with them to ensure that they close that sale. So for us at the Tourism Board, it is important to establish a relationship with these tour operators because we will give them accessibility to hotels, to the local tour operators in Belize. We will give them the photos, the videos, and the information they need to be able to build those itineraries so that they can pitch it to their clients and then create that overnight visitor.
Each of the other countries' pavilions highlights a distinct theme or selling point designed to entice travelers. Honduras has an equal balance of adventure and beach experience, while other places like Guatemala and El Salvador choose to pivot off outdoor activities such as surfing and snorkeling.
If they want to choose Honduras as a destination, is that we have multiple activities to do, different destinations to visit. If they want to go to the Caribbean and do diving and just relax by the beach, we have that. If they want to come to mainland and just have a beachfront, more than 700 kilometers of beachfront that we have to the Caribbean, they can come to different destinations like Tela, Omoa, La Ceiba, or Trujillo, which are products that are in the mainland to the Caribbean, but they can come and enjoy the different activities of the archaeological sites that we have in Copan Ruinas or El Puente, or they can come and enjoy the different activities of bird watching in Pico Bonito.
We have a lot of activities that you can do, like volcanoes, beach, surf. Also, we have a city tour in San Salvador. And there's a lot of activities that you can do alone, in couple, and with families. We have here 11 companies, tour operators, and hotels that came here to Honduras to promote El Salvador. And all of them offer different kind of tours. Although the hotels are different, so you can have a lot of options with 2, 7, 15 days, one month. So there's a lot of things that you can do in El Salvador.
Guatemala is a place, a very beautiful country, full of culture,
full of nature, archaeological sites. We are called the heart of the Mayan world. So we share this amazing archaeological heritage with all other countries that are part of the Mundo Maya. And in this edition, in this event, we are promoting our culture through the barriletes, as we call it in Spanish, also coffee and cacao, and we're going to have also some food, gastronomy, Guatemalan gastronomy.
Jo Marie Lanza, 7 News.
Jo Marie will have another report tomorrow. Understanding financial institutions and transactions, truth be told, many of us adults struggle with that. But through a partnership between the Central Bank of Belize and the Ministry of Education on what is called the National Financial Inclusion Strategy, this is now being taught to primary schoolers. The goal is to get these lessons about money management and money making to 100% of primary school students. They're currently at 74%, and today, with the launch of an e-reader manual, they came closer to the 100%. We were at the Central Bank for the launch.
And this is a grandeur moment because we are launching the ebook, which is going to make it accessible for all students, primary school students in Belize, to have access to basic understanding of financial institutions and transactions in Belize. So what we're doing is we're empowering individuals, to better be financially literate in the different topics. So the literate itself it includes financial institutions, but also other investment tools. It gives the opportunity, like the presenter had said, that it gives the opportunity for students to be able to use their own capital and be able to start your own business in that sense. Very beginning, we're teaching them what is money, how money is created. But for this one, we're focusing on Standard 2 and Standard 3, which is understanding basic financial institutions and transactions.
It's localized. We need our content, our information, our strategies, everything to be localized to our Belizean culture. And sometimes we don't have resources like that we could rely on that would focus on our Belizean culture. You have kids out here who don't even know any banks in Belize. They don't even, they only know about Belize Bank, right? They don't know about credit unions or anything in our country itself, right? It allows them to make more educated decisions that is not going to affect them negatively as they get older, right? Being the area I come from, yet, because of the socioeconomic background that they have, with this, being that they know it from a young age, then they are able to apply that as they get older, even at a young age from now, in their classroom or among themselves as friends. But for them to understand how the credit score system works, where it's a little bit more strict and it has more structure, and if you don't spend wisely or borrow wisely, right, then it's going to affect you as you get older. Right? Even if I could apply that into my classroom, into a lesson, and have them see what would be the consequences or how it would affect them at their level, so they could understand how it would affect them when they become older, right?
And research has shows that we're not going to see the effect tomorrow, but it's going to be like 5-10 years from now, we're going to see that effect, the impact of these initiatives that we're doing.
Budgeting is important because you need to know how much money you have, and if you don't budget, then you can overspend, and then in the future when you really need the money, you won't have it because you didn't budget and you overspent.
So have you begun budgeting, or how are you implementing this lesson that you've learned?
Because for school, my mom, she just straight up gives me my money. So I have to go and only spend what I have to and know, okay, I can only spend $1 on this because I need to buy water.
The ebook is available through the 501 Academy portal. 7 months ago, Giovanni Gillett was one of the dozens of persons aboard a bus that flipped at mile 7 on the Philip Golson Highway. And 7 months later, she's still living with the after effects of her injury. She spoke to us today at the KHMH.
In March, Giovanna Gillett was in this Central Transit bus when it flipped on the Philip Golson Highway.
Well, I got injured when the bus flipped. When I come out of the seat, that's when my head knocked into the bus rack, and that's what slit my ears, and I had a sprained finger from then. I lost my job, everything while taking with this accident because I was going to work at that time. I was working at the call center. So because of the incident, I couldn't put on the headset to work.
And 7 months later, she still lives with the aftermath of the injury.
The memories live on for me because eventually now I have to stay with a pain that I have in my ears that I left from the incident. And it's still drained and stuff.
And she hasn't collected any insurance to take care of the treatment because until today she couldn't get a medical report.
So I came here this morning again to get my medical report, and while I came to get my medical report, they told me it was still in process from June. So if I didn't make noise and told them that I was going to bring the media here and without your help, I wasn't going to get it, Jules.
But you got it.
I got it now, thanks to you.
And after that, she headed back to Ladyville on the same bus line.
I still have to ride that bus every day because that's how we get in and out. So we have to kiss it till we could kick it, I guess.
In last week's House meeting, the Minister of Health introduced the Tobacco Control Bill, new legislation that will hopefully reduce health risks associated with tobacco consumption. Today, the media asked Bernard more about it, particularly as it relates to Belize's tobacco and alcohol culture. He believes that the bill will get the support of the wider public.
I think, Isani, it's never too late to act. It's never too late to bring legislation that is critical. When you look at the region, for example, Jamaica, Guyana, some of our Grenada, some of our Caribbean countries, including other countries in Central America, who has already introduced legislations to deal with the tobacco control. Belize signed on to this way back, I believe it's early 2000, 20 years ago. And so it's high time that we address the issue because the FCTC, which was signed on to from the very beginning, the treaty, we need to ensure that we put into place mechanisms, and in this case, it's the legislation. And we're hoping that we can get the support of the general citizen. I believe that from a society, we have to start to protect and prevent persons from having to die from effects of smoking, and not just the smokers, but those who also get affected through secondhand smoke. And I know that the industry, people will always say, oh, but then what about the business? What about, we have to put mechanism in place. We're not telling you, this bill is not about you have to stop smoke. It's about controlling what we do and how it affects others. It's about protecting our citizens, protecting our future generation, protecting our young people. Because just as smoke, there's an issue of alcohol, which we are hoping to bring another bill pretty soon that will address the abuse of alcohol.
The House Committee meeting to get public feedback on the new bill will be held next week, and reports to our newsroom are that it may face opposition from some corners, including importers of handmade cigars who do not want their products to be grouped with cigarettes. That's all we have for you for tonight. Thanks for watching. With your news, I'm Indira Craig. Remember, you can find a full transcript of the news at 7newsbelize.com and see the streaming video on our Facebook or YouTube pages. Have a pleasant evening. Join Miriam Abdul Kawe here tomorrow, and I'll be back on Friday. Have a good one.